Hi everyone, good morning. My name is Cassandra and I'm going to take you through this morning power flow. So this is really an intermediate practice meant to work your muscles, to give you a boost of energy, and to really set the tone for the day ahead. So more of a dynamic practice that will build up a little bit of heat in the body and hopefully just set you up for an amazing day. We are going to get started at the top of the mat. So standing at the back of the mat, no props required in this class. You can just start with your feet about hip width distance apart. Roll your shoulders down and away from your ears, palms shining forward. And maybe close your eyes here as you ground down into your feet, lengthening through your spine, reaching the crown of your head up. So first thing in the morning, just do a little bit of a mental check-in to see how your body is feeling. And we're just going to extend our arms up overhead. You can interlace your hands, release the thumbs and the index fingers, and just crescent over. Find a little standing side bend, so pushing your hips out to the right. And then coming back through to center and go to the other side, pushing your hips over to the left. And just once more on each side here. Inhale to lift and exhale, side bend. Inhale, lift. Exhale over to the other side. Coming back through to center, bend at the elbows, little cactus shape, and find a little back bend here as you lift up through your chest, squeezing your shoulder blades behind you. And releasing back through to center. Let's start to flow. So inhale, reach your arms up, palms come together. Exhale, fold forward. It's our first one, so I'm also tight. This is also a morning practice for me, so I'm bending my knees for this. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Bring most of the weight into the balls of your feet. Exhale to fold. Bend your knees and walk your hands forward. Come into your plank pose. Hold in this plank. We're going to tap the knees down 3 times. So tap and lift. Twice more. Tap, lift, tap, and lift. Shift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Our first down dog of the day. Create some space through the back of your legs, through your spine, through your arms. Relax your head and neck. And let's reach our right leg up towards the sky. Bend your right knee, open up your hip. Really squeeze that heel in towards your seat so you're getting a bit of a quad stretch, and lift the knee up even higher. We're going to step the right foot forward between the palms, right away coming into our high lunge. So your feet are hip width distance apart. Reach out through your arms. I'm keeping my back knee bent so I can keep my hips underneath my shoulders, lifting out of the lower back. Hands come together at the front of the heart. You're going to stand on that right leg. Bring your left knee in with you. So finding a little bit of balance here. Squeeze through the hip flexors. Lift that knee up a little higher. Flex through your foot and kick that leg out in front. Bend into the knee. Warrior 3. Virabhadrasana 3. So that left leg goes back. You can do any arm variation that you'd like here. And we're going to kick this up a notch by bending the supporting knee 3 times. So staying in Warrior 3, bend the right leg and press back up. So it's almost like a one-legged squat. Bend and straighten. Last one, bend and straighten. You're going to drop the toes down to the mat and take your flow. So hands down, inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. I'm going to go all the way for this first one. You can do cobra or upward dog. And we all meet downward facing dog. From this down dog, walk your hands to the back of the mat. Bend your knees generously and push into your heels to roll all the way up to stand, inch by inch. And let's go and do the same thing over to the other side. Shift back if you've moved a little bit. Inhale. And exhale, fold. Remember, you can always bend your knees here. Halfway lift, flat back, lift and lengthen. And fold, walk your hands out, find plank pose. Holding this strong plank, tap the knees down for 3, 2, and 1. Downward dog. Lift your hips up and back. Create a little bit more space here. Left leg rises. Bend your left knee. Open up your hips. Squeeze in. Into our high lunge. Step that left foot through between your palms. Back heel stays lifted. Pushing into the ground to rise on up. Find your alignment in this high lunge, hands over shoulders, shoulders over hips, bending generously into that front knee. Bring your hands at your heart. We're going to stand on that left leg, bring your right knee in and lift that thigh up as high as it'll go. Flex your right foot and push as if you're kicking out against the wall in front of you, strengthening those hip flexors. Into warrior 3, bend the right knee and start to extend that leg back. Choose where you want to have your arms, whatever will help you with balance here. And now bend that supporting leg, so left knee bends and push yourself back straight. Twice more. Lower and lift. Last one. Try to keep that back leg up and bend into that supporting leg. Take your vinyasa, so find plank pose, chaturanga, cobra, or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk your hands to the back of the mat. Bend your knees, push into your heels to roll up to stand inch by inch. So we'll do almost the same thing, but just doing a bit of a different variation this time to open up our hips. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, flat back. And walk it out to plank pose. And just like before, tap the knees down for 3, 2, and 1. Downward dog, hips go up and back. Reach your right leg up to the sky, bend your knee, open up your hip. This time we're going to come to our warrior 2. So right foot steps between the palms, back foot spins parallel to the shorter edge of your mat. As you lift on up, reach the arms out. Sink as low as you can in this warrior 2. On the inhale, we're going to straighten the front leg, bring the hands together. Exhale, sink it a little lower, twice more like this. Last one. Into your extended side angle. You can choose to bring your forearm onto your thigh, or you can bring the fingertips down to the mat. Really focus on rotating your chest here. So you're leaning back. From here, let's find Vashisthasana, side plank. So left hand is going to come down to the mat, and you're going to right away see if you can transition over left side, side plank, stacking the right leg over the top of the left one. Squeeze to lift the hips up even higher. And take your flow, plank pose, chaturanga, upward dog, downward facing dog. See if you can reach your heels a little bit closer to the mat. And walk your hands to the back of the mat. Bend your knees and roll all the way up. Let's go do the same thing to the second side. Inhale, reach and lift. Fold as you breathe out. Halfway lift, flat back. And find your plank pose. Strong through your spine here. Tap down for 3, 2, 1. Downward facing dog. This time our left leg extends up. Bend your left knee. Open up your hip. Virabhadrasana 2, your warrior 2. Step that left foot forward. Spin the back heel parallel to the shorter edge of your mat as you lift on up. Really bend into that front knee and think of squeezing that knee open. As you inhale, straighten the front leg, reach your arms up, palms together. Exhale, sink even deeper. Twice more. Inhale. And exhale. Think of pushing down with your arms, so really strong and active through the upper body. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sink into it, extended side angle, either with the forearm supported over onto your thigh, or you can bring those left fingertips to the inside of that left foot, really working on not contracting towards the mat, but rather rolling that right shoulder back. Into our side plank on the right side. So right hand comes down underneath my shoulder. I'm gonna pivot and roll onto the edge of my right foot, stacking the left leg on top, pushing the feet into the floor in order to lift the hips up even higher. Taking your flow, plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward dog. Stretch it out one last time here in down dog, and walk your hands in. Bend your knees generously and roll all the way up to stand. And let's just widen our feet. We're going to come into a wide-legged forward fold. So you can have both feet parallel to the shorter edges of your mat, hands on your hips. Take an inhale, really lengthen through the spine, create the space and maintain this space even as you hinge from the hips and fold on down. And you can do any arm variation that you'd like here. Try to keep your shoulders lifted away from your ears. And if you'd like, you can play around with bending the right knee and see how much you can bend into that right knee, keeping that left leg straight. And straighten the right leg. We'll go to the other side, bend that left knee, keeping the right leg straight. Coming all the way back through to center. Take one more moment here. And just walk your hands out in front of you. You can toe heel the feet closer in towards one another. We're going to come to take a seat, coming into our reverse tabletop pose. So legs, feet out in front of you, hip width distance apart. Bring your palms behind you, shoulder width distance apart. Spread the fingertips nice and wide. All you're going to do is push down into the floor, squeeze through your seat to lift the hips up. So getting a bit of a chest opening here. You might feel this in your shoulders a lot, but really work on the strength coming from your hamstrings and your glutes. And exhale, coming back down. I'm going to shift myself so I'm closer towards the top of my mat, and we're going to roll down nice and slow and controlled. So really contract in through your abdominals and lower down. So at first, my lower back starts to come in contact with the mat, and then my mid back, and finally my upper back. Reach your arms up overhead, straighten the legs. Get a big stretch in here. And let's just do a little twist before we finish this practice. So you can bend your right knee, pull that thigh in towards your chest and carry it over into a twist. So my right knee is going to go all the way over to the left, and I'm going to extend my right arm out to the side. These morning classes are a wonderful opportunity to just set an intention for your day, to really give yourself time and space to connect and ask yourself what's important to you today. How do you want the day to go? What is a feeling you want to focus on and cultivate? And we'll come all the way back through to center, switching sides. So straighten the right leg, pull that left thigh in and cross it over towards the right. Reach your left arm out. I like to choose just one word as my intention for the day. I think my word today is going to be patience. And coming all the way back through to center. Bring both knees in towards your belly. Give it a big squeeze. Maybe rock a little bit side to side. In my morning classes, I don't usually do Shavasana. Instead, We close by sitting up together just for a few breaths. I just don't want you to fall back asleep in case you're still quite tired. So sit up tall and just take a few moments listening to this bird song. One of my favorite things about practicing out here in my yard. Connect with your intention for the day. Let's bring our hands together at the front of the heart, Anjali Mudra, and we'll chant Om together one time. Inhale to chant, breathe in deep. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing this morning power flow with me. It was short, but hopefully you feel energized and ready to take on your day. If you did choose a one-word intention, leave it down below in the comments. Let me know what it is. I hope you have an amazing day, and maybe we will practice again together tomorrow morning.